I cried a lot, and then after I finished crying, I read a lot of books and talked to a lot of people and contacted my school district.
AJ was about 18 months old when we first found out that there was a chance.
Brandon and Connor were diagnosed in 5th grade.
Well, Jesse was young. I don't remember the exact date.
I learned it when he was 2.5.
Well, he was formally diagnosed when he was around 8 or 9.
Autism, a high neurodevelopment disorder that occurs during infancy or childhood.
He wasn't speaking, so we were referred to a speech therapist, and the speech therapist suggested that we have Matthew evaluated.
I had seen Lauren as early as 9 months have signs of delay where she wasn't rolling over, she was delayed in crawling and walking. She didn't really behave like other babies, yet seemed to be really bright.
There are 4 symptoms associated with this learning disability: impairments in social interaction, impairments in communication, restricted interests, and repetitive behaviors.
We had suspected for a lot of years before that they were autistic.
I took him to a pediatric neurologist, and she did some tests and videotaped him playing. But prior to that, he had had some examinations at St. Christopher's Hospital. He had gone through having an MRI, but it was really by the age of 9 that he was actually diagnosed.
It wasn't until she was actually 7 years old and I had taken her down to the Kennedy Krieger Autism Institute in Baltimore that I learned that she actually had autism. And I had taken her to be evaluated, and even at 4 years old I had a psychiatric evaluation done.
Since the 1980s, a number of autistic children have increased due to a diagnostic practice change. Today, there have been approximately 57% of children who have been diagnosed with autism.
But he was young, and it was a challenge when he was diagnosed for both my wife and I. But he's progressed and he's doing well.
I didn't know how this was going to affect his learning overall. I knew he would learn, but he had been struggling with reading.
We weren't surprised that they were autistic, and it was actually kind of a relief because we had suspected for a long time.
Oh, it was a really difficult time for us. That's a hard diagnosis to deal with.
It was probably difficult for us to accept at first.
I wasn't really too sure what to expect or what autism was at that point, so I did a lot of research on my own and went a little overboard with learning.
I first learned about that when I was 9 to 10 years old.
When I turned the age of 10, my parents told me that back at age 7 they found out.
I'd say about close to spring of 2009.
Our parents told us when we were in 5th grade.
Yeah, they found out when we were like 3 and told us somewhere during the 5th grade.
Sometimes I usually struggle in class, but I always ask for help to overcome those obstacles.
Logically, when autistic individuals reach adulthood, most of them don't live independently. However, the task of living independent has been succeeded by a significant amount of people with that type of learning disability.
I think you are more involved in your child's social life, like who his friends are.
I started to become more self-aware of myself.
I think it's made me a better person and even a better mom because I'm more understanding and patient.
I think it was probably getting all the aces on my report card or something.
Yeah, I think it has. I think it's made me more patient both my wife and I.
I think it's taught me more tolerance and more patience.
Well, I got therapy sessions. I had trouble studying, but then I became a better studying person like I do well in school.
I think it's made me closer to my daughter.
But sometimes it will interfere with me paying attention.
I think we've learned to accept a lot of people that are different than us.
I believe I have a lot more patience now than I would have.
I guess it's not that bad.
I feel pretty good for myself because I've made a lot of friends.
I might be successful for my future.
Then I felt even prouder than ever.
I was feeling really happy. I was getting able to get good at things I like to do.
I feel great about them.
Jesse's extraordinary with that, but there's one key thing, and that is it has to be a preferred task.
When it comes to autistic individuals, anything is possible. Hi, my name is Pat Meyer, and there are 3 reasons why I made this documentary. First, I am also autistic. Second, I want to raise awareness about autism. And finally, just because someone is autistic, it doesn't mean that he or she can't have any gifts or talents. I hope you have enjoyed seeing this documentary. Thank you, and let us all make a difference